Hello, everybody. We are back. Now we're not doing growth group videos anymore. No, no, no. We're doing connect group videos because we're calling it connect group because it's all about connections.
And we just like to name things.
Yeah. Well, and rename things, which I think is amazing. It's awesome.
Why not?
And so we're going to walk you through some of the questions for your connect group tonight and or today or this morning. Whenever you're doing it. I don't know if there's any groups meeting in the morning, but hey, man, you know
maybe
what?
Lunch.
That's maybe an idea, you know? Early morning, like a 5 a.m. That'd be great, you know?
Okay.
So we're going to just like kick off right away because talking about naming things, we want you guys to get to know each other in your group. And the best way to do that is to talk about like stories.
I thought your idea was the best way to do that.
I don't know.
It's a way.
Yes.
It's a way.
Yes.
So here's
anyway,
the idea.
The idea is to take the letters of your name and take each letter and then create a phrase around each letter that would describe you and or maybe be a part of your story.
So you know me.
S.
How many letters is there a way to shorten my name? So you know Joseph, you'd have a lot more.
Oh
things
no.
to come up with,
Mine's Joe. Joe. Done. That's what it is. So like J. I don't know.
Jovial.
Jovial. Jovial is a great word. I love to laugh, love to have fun. By the way, just so we're all clear, the Bears did win today, so I'm very happy. Last quarter,
Okay.
We're undefeated, just letting you know. So then Sarah, S, would be serious. Maybe? No?
Probably. You guys get the idea.
You get the idea.
You can figure this
so,
out.
Pause the video right now and
Introduce
take some time to get to know each other. Do the letters of your name thing.
Share with us the greatest one you came up with.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be great. All right, pause the video now. All right, we're back, and Sarah's got our next question.
Well, we're
ready.
keeping the conversation going.
That's what we're trying to do.
So today in the message we talked about Jesus having some conversations.
Mm-hmm.
One at the Sermon on the Mount.
Yep.
Nicodemus, seeking, seeing.
Yep.
How do we move? So the question is, what story of Jesus, which one stands out to you that you identify most with, that kind of speaks to you and
maybe inspires you?
Yeah, and draws you into seeking or seeing more from his perspective.
I don't know if you have one, but I did like the Nicodemus conversation. So I thought that's if I was Nicodemus, he probably lived his life, the rest of his life, remembering that conversation with Jesus and knowing that was a life-changing thing for him. So yeah, very cool.
So think about it.
All right, yeah, think about it. And what should they do?
Pause the video.
Pause the video. All right, we're back. Good deal. So in the message, we talked about, I threw down a lot of scriptures, which I try to keep them to like one or two, but in this series, we're going to be looking at several each Sunday. And one of the ones that we looked at today was, and actually you're reading about is more so what's happening, is that John 1. And John 1 is just a really awesome passage and chapter. And some of the other gospels start with the birth of Jesus and his early life. And
by sum up, we mean the other three.
The
four gospels.
And so there you go. And so John, though, doesn't. And so take some time to read John 1 together and then ask a few questions about that. So talk about where John's story begins and why. Another question you can discuss is, what does John mean by the use of the term word? It's capitalized, so that should be an indicator, a clue, context clue, right? And then the third question is really, why is this part of Jesus's story important considering the climate that our world is in right now? And with everything that's going on, why is this chapter and this description of Jesus relevant and important today? So take some time, pause the video, and discuss. All right, we are back with a couple of final questions for the group.
Yeah. So when I'm thinking about conversations and how that relates to other people, and when I'm thinking about my faith in those conversations, I tend to feel like those conversations are much more natural when they come from a personal place of what I'm walking through and how I saw Jesus part of that story. So, with school, going through school with my kids, it was easier to talk to people about my faith when that conversation was involving, something that we were both walking through, and someone would share a problem, and I would be able to say, yeah, it's really tough to have your kids listen to you at home and be their mom, but also be their teacher. And those were conversations I had to have with God, that I needed to say, okay, Jesus, I need you to show me what it looks like for me to change hats with my kids in the day, to go from being mom to being teacher to being disciplinarian to being the cook to being their taxi driver. As all of these roles were shifting and I was trying to figure them out, I needed to have some conversations with Jesus to get okay with who I was and to figure out my identity. But then to be able to share that with other people just made more sense.
And it was more natural that way.
It
flowed.
More, yeah, I didn't feel like I was just having to tell them about Jesus to check a box. I was sharing truly where Jesus was at work in my life and how I was surviving some days. And so are there any examples in your life where you're having conversations with Jesus, and then as you're having conversations with other people, you see those things line up and you say, oh yeah, so I was just working through that. I was just dealing with that same thing. And this is how my faith tied into that.
Yeah. And the second question to maybe discuss would be this question, which is, probably flowing right out of that, like how Jesus has worked in your life and how that inspires you to tell others. Also, like, how does that inspire you? Like, how do you continue to kind of light the fire of inspiration in your life, or allow the Holy Spirit to do that? And I think the conversations with the Lord and the conversations then that flow out of those prayers and that time with God into our conversations with others seems like it may be how it would inspire you. And so maybe you have an example of that where, there's been times in my life, and even as I've been, preparing a message or thinking about a meeting that I'm preparing for, that, I remember how God is at work in my life and has worked in my life in the past. And then it helps inspire me to bring something to the table and not come empty handed, but to be able to lean back and say, God, you have showed up in the past in these ways, and I know that you will again, and maybe today is where I'm supposed to share this. And so how does that kind of like stoke the fire, the way, in what ways
keep you
can
wanting more?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't want to ever get satisfied with.
So is that through, some of the personal things that you've experienced with God? Is that through conversations with others? What keeps you the fire lit for God in your life? All right. So the last thing I want to mention is that we do have a reading plan. It's only 5 days, so you have 7 in between Sundays, but only 5 days. And your leader should have a copy of that. If not, you can check Facebook and Instagram. We posted that Sunday night, so you can check that out. It's about 1 chapter a day, so not too bad in terms of reading, but it's going to give you a lot of good background to go deeper and to see kind of like the message kind of play itself out a little bit more. And we cannot wait to see you for week 2, because week 2 is really about the hard conversation, because we look at the story of God and the story of people, and we are on the struggle bus, so we're gonna learn from that, and we're gonna be able to go deeper as well. So you guys have a great rest of your group, and we will see you very soon. Bye.